Welcome everybody from Sparx Systems YouTube channel. It's great to have you here with us today. Once again, we're continuing to look at our urban parking system repository that has been designed and built in Enterprise Architect. My name's Scott Hebbard. I'm joined by Stephen McGuire, and today we're going to explore your models and your files and how you access them and explore them via Enterprise Architect. So welcome, Stephen. Great to have you here today.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for the introduction. Yes, indeed, we're going to be looking at exploring some models. So over the last few videos that we've put quite a lot of information into Enterprise Architect. We've put in structural models, behavioral models, process models, choreography models, strategic models with value chains and strategic diagrams and things. But let's now look at how we kind of locate things in the repository. We have covered this in passing in a couple of other videos, but I'm just going to be talking about a range of things to explore the model. So normally we set our perspective, but in this particular case, we don't need to do that because we'll be looking across the whole model. I want to draw your attention to some useful tools on the Start ribbon. The second panel in the Explore panel here, we've got Search and Portals. Let's have a look at Search here. So we can click on the search icon there, and we can search in model, in files. We've also got a group called recent diagrams, recent elements, recent tasks, and a general, diagrams and packages, and browse for a diagram and browse for a package. Let's start at the top, have a quick look at this. So here's a model search. Let's put a term in here now. Say that we've been, thinking about portable devices, and we're wondering how the parking meter deals with, things like smartphones or tablets when the motorist might be on the go away from their car and wanting to get information. So we're not really sure exactly what we'll find, but we know that it's something to do with portable devices. So let's put that in. I spelled that correctly. We've got common search here and simple. There are a number of options there, and under each one of those options there are a list of things as well there. So let's just go okay to that for a tick, and you can see now that we've found two items that match that criteria in some way. The first one, the object name is a near-field communication reader. That's interesting. And if I click on that, you notice the notes pop up. And so when we read the notes, we can, talk about this. Scott, this, if you're not familiar with this term, this is the technology behind, the tap and go payment system where you can pay for something by tapping your smartphone. And the builders of this urban parking meter system are, that was an important aspect for, payment options for the motorist. And so that's there. And you can see here, readers are used in smartphones and other portable devices for payment services and multitude of other applications. So that's there. Let's have a look at this payment reader as well. And it's in a phase there called Sprint 2. And I know that we're up to Sprint 2, or Sprint 2 is coming up quite soon. Conveniently, I can right mouse click to bring up the context menu there, and I can say find in diagrams or find in the browser. So if I click that, I can find it in the browser there, but I might want to look at it inside of diagrams. So I say find in diagrams and issues, changes, defects, and I can look at that and bring that up and see what's going on here. And you can see here the payment reader has got this related to the parking meter, and it's got this payment terminal freezes during high traffic periods, and there's a defect there. And you can see in the notes that the word portable is there again, a multifunctional component to read credit and debit cards and smartphones and other portable devices. So that is me starting to explore the model on the basis of portable. In a larger model, you might find that word comes up a lot. You might have some user interface models. You might have some strategic models that are about, the competition, about, being able to make functionality available on these portable devices. But it's brought us to the locations that that we need to find that out. Now let's have a look at some other things. Let's go back and just look at this in a little bit more detail there. And
can you search some of those columns? Like if you wanted to sort via version or something like that, obviously it's a short list, but it's quite possible that you could have a list with 50 things in it.
Yeah. Well asked, Scott. Good thing there. What I can do is if you notice up the top here, it says drag a column header here to group by that column, and I can just simply drag that version one up there, and I'll have it related like that. Now, if I look for something, let's look for something a little bit more, a little bit larger than that. Maybe session. I'll have a look and see whether you can see that, you know, session's got a lot of things in there. So suddenly, you know, the version becomes important. Maybe the status as well. Maybe I'll drop the status up there, and I've got sorted by version and then status. So within version 1, status approved, status in progress, status proposed, and I can, you know, keep scrolling down through that with the different versions.
Everything's grouped nicely and easier to consume and read.
And I can keep going with that. I could, you know, put type there as well and move, you know, type up there and say, look, I want to actually look at it by type. Maybe I'm a project manager or something, and I'm kind of focusing on, you know, particular parts of the application. I want to look at, you know, these requirements here. And you can see now that, you know, here's a Sprint 2 requirement. So incredibly useful there. Let's just do one other thing while we're looking at this window, because we've got other things to look at as well, Scott. Let's look at, well, you know, get rid of this session here, and you know, let's clear the results there. So I can just use the context menu there and clear results. Now we've looked under common searches. That's fine. We've got all sorts of other things like, you know, discussions and searches as well. So, you know, we could be looking at those discussions there, recently discussed elements, or we could, you know, go back to this common search one and then go down into some more detail. So I could look at extended there, and let's have a look at that, and I'll see if I can find something. Not sure whether we have something about firmware, but I was interested in that there, and we do seem to have something about firmware there. Let's have a look at that, and you know, there's some information about that there, and I can look at, you know, attributes as well, attribute details. Click on that, and you know, bring up other pieces of information there. So if I look at that card reader on this near field communication reader, let's just bring that up, and let's open that. It's opened up in another window. So let me just pop that across. That's opened up some information about that. Look at the details here, and I could, if I wanted to, look at the attributes, and remember, I can do that from my near field thing here, my card reader there. And if I bring up the attributes window, and you know, I could be able to see that. So let's have a look at now. Moving on, I think we might just bring up that attributes window and just show that, just so you can see that that's where that appeared. There's the firmware version there, and so we can see that's where that search came from. But let's move on. That's a big topic, because there's lots of searching you can do, and we've just kind of scratched the surface of that there. I'll just close that and find in project model there, and let's look at this other one here, files. So I can find in a file as well. You notice over on the right hand side here, it's popped up a little window here that says, you know, going to browse for things, browse for folder. So let's have a look in search in scripts, and we've got lots of different options. I'm going to drag this screen over a little bit so you can see some of the other options there. We're going to look for CSV file. I'm interested in porting spreadsheets into Enterprise Architect, and I know that spreadsheets, there's a general file format called, you know, this CSV file that works for not only, you know, Microsoft tools but other tools as well. And I'll say search in scripts there, and I'll look for that. So I'll hit the search button there, and you can see now it's popped up a list of things, items that have been found in the script. So let's have a look at this one here. So let's have a look at one of these. We'll say row. Yeah, we'll do that. And you can see now that Enterprise Architect is turning from not being just a diagramming tool, but now it's a tool that we can, you know, manage these files in as well. So all sorts of different types of files. This is a scripting file. So if you're a business person, just maybe put some sunglasses on for a minute, or you know, look away. This is under the hood, if you like, and it's available for people to look at. Of course, it could be locked down by security things as well. But here it is. You know, it says the script library contains helper functions to assist with CSV imports and export of Enterprise Architect elements. So
it looks like it's a fully functional script editor there, with lines and the ability to insert breakpoints and everything.
Yeah, it's the sky's the limit there, Scott. Very useful. And the thing we're focusing on is this, you know, find in files. So it's not just in script files. It could be in external, you know, files as well. Search in open files, search in local help, browse for the folder. So lots of different things there, and we can, determine the types of things that we're going to look for as well. So let's just close that for the moment. We know that that's a very useful function to some people. We'll close these things here, and again, we'll probably close our features window, back to our properties. Let's go back and look at this search. So recent diagrams. So, this is bringing up the recent diagrams. You can see there, the 3 is indicating, the number of days. Let's put that up to 10, for example, and we get a different list. So lots of functionality, nothing to really write there. You just simply are using the functionality in Enterprise Architect. You kind of need to know that this is, talking about the number of days, but I've given you that tip now, so people will know about that. Recently modified diagrams, incredibly useful. User stories, local business owner, I can just, double click on these and bring up that diagram. So again, incredibly useful, and I can find that, that one in the project browser as well, or in, find in all diagrams, and you can see it's in this product management one as well, and it's brought up a Kanban diagram, and I can find that. So what I'm doing is showing you how to move around the application, how to explore things, how to find the things that you're looking for, and, making you more productive with the tool, essentially. So what about recent elements? Again, I've been looking at this, display unit here. So that's been a, recent element I've been looking at, finding all diagrams. It's in the class model meter focus one there. There it is there. I can, find that in all sorts of different places. Again, let's look at, recent, well, let's skip over recent tasks. That's if, we've got tasks assigned and general diagram. We'll skip over those for the moment as well, and we'll look at browse for diagram. So this is a useful thing, a useful tool here. We can just start browsing for the diagram, and this is going to put away all the noise of the other elements and features and things that are underneath here. All we're going to get is the diagrams. So instead of going through the project browser, that's all it's, it's got all these things in the repository. Like if you look over there now, there's all the user stories that are in the repository. But if I was to go into
it's still displaying a tree structure, but it's
exactly
just showing you the diagrams.
Exactly, Scott. That's exactly right. So very, very, very easy to find your way around. And of course, if you didn't know anything, about the diagrams, for example, so if you're in this analysis model, say that you were doing that, and say you thought, look, I know that there's a context diagram. For the life of me, I can't find it because the model's got so big now. I'm looking for it. So let's just put in the word context there, and see what we can find. And there's the urban, one there. Locate item in tree. There it is there. And what's it? The context diagram there. And I can open that, and it's brought up the context diagram. So in a large repository, Scott, people. I'm working on repositories sometimes with, a couple of maybe 300 or 400 people all working at the same time within Enterprise Architect, and then many other thousands of people consuming the information through Prolaborate, for example, the visualization tool that's web-based. But I'm just want to find this thing so I can work on it, and you can see how quickly and easily it is to get to that. All I have to do is think of some word, that's in the diagram, something that I can think of, some concept, something that might help me find my way around. And I've ended up on this context diagram and gone, wow, that's really, useful. And, I can click through then to other diagrams. So all of those other features to be able to, once you land on something, once you find it, to be able to move around, drill down, drill back up again, drill across, pull up some other windows around, some, featured windows, some discussions, and you're able to, really get some productivity and some connection with all the other people that are modeling, and basically kick some goals and for your organization, whatever endeavor or enterprise you're looking at. So that's the search window. I can do the same for a package. So again, the package browser comes up, and I can look for packages now without all the noise of diagrams or elements, and it's much easier for me to find things, just having those things hidden away. So very, very useful. The other thing I want to just quickly talk to you about is the portals window. We have got a whole lot of portals here, and let's have a look at that. Recent places. When I go over here, I can look at the places that I've been, current diagrams that I've got open. You can see, those ones are there. The user story one there. I can flick between those easily. And, sometimes that's an easier way to move around than, clicking up here. So the portals window's just popped aside there. Recent diagrams, documents, business case there. You can open that up and look at that. I won't bother doing that. It'll come up on the other monitor anyway. So let's talk a little bit more about some of these other portals. Perspectives. So we've got the perspectives there, and we were always doing that from the top right-hand corner of the application, but we can do it in this window as well, in the portals window. And we've got windows that can find any tools or windows that we're looking for, diagram filters, pan and zoom, diagram layout, all neatly grouped into similar types of things. So collaboration things here, discussions, so we've got all of that going on. And if I look at my portals window, there are a number of other things to explore there: guidebooks, execute, learning. And I'll leave that up to the audience to go and have an explore of all that and, get familiar with some of the things that are available in that portals window. And just one trick, Scott, that, people may not be aware of is this in the portals window here. What I've done is I've put on the auto hide there so that it hides away, because I'm not interested in it being there all the time, but I want it at my fingertips when I need that. And I can auto collapse groups as well. So, that's kind of a useful thing. So I'm just focusing on one thing. So a couple of different options there. I guess another take-home message, Scott, is never underestimate the right mouse click in Enterprise Architect. There's all sorts of goodies under there that you'll find tucked away, but at your fingertips, ready to.
Always seems to open up a world of possibilities, Stephen.
Yeah, that's it, Scott. And the model's getting bigger. The challenges in our worlds are getting larger. So this tool is keeping pace and keeping step with all those challenges and making it easy for you to get on and do the good work that you need to do in whatever endeavor you're working on.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. I think it's great because you've shown us if you know a name, you can quickly find it and search for it. If you know you worked on a document or a diagram in the last 3 or 4 days, you can find that as well. So there's lots and lots of options there to quickly find and hunt down what you're looking for and open it directly in the model, and then to switch between the browser and the diagrams accordingly. So
Indeed.
Yeah, it's really easy, really powerful stuff. So thanks, Stephen. So as always, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate you watching our videos and engaging with us. As always, we encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to Sparx Systems YouTube channel so you can learn more about Enterprise Architect and other Sparx Systems tools as we produce videos and place them on our YouTube channel. Stephen, once again, if you want to talk to Stephen about some of the things that you've seen today, his credentials are listed in the video description below, and you can reach out via the LinkedIn or website details that are listed in the comments below. My name's Scott. It's been great talking to you, Stephen, as always, and thank you for your time and for your expertise.
Always delighted to be here, Scott. And just remember, we've only just scratched the surface of the tool's capabilities.